like the content we bring you about the heavy metal world, please like, subscribe, and comment to help us grow the channel. You have a brand new album coming out, Myths of Fate. It's your 9th record. And can you talk a little bit about the concept of the album and how it all came together?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's not really per se a concept album this time, as the last Viking was. Obviously, it was very heavily around the theme of the Harald Hardrada and his life, so historical person. And this time we decided to go more into the mystical and magical side of the sagas. So it's all kinds of objects and goddesses and all kinds of exciting stuff on the album this time.
Awesome. And how did you guys, what made you decide to do this theme? Is this a follow-up from the last album, or?
No, not really. I mean, it was Alex is always kind of the mastermind of these themes and lyrical concepts. So he kind of suggested or came up with this idea, and at least I was really on board with it instantly because I thought it would be nice to do something a little bit different. Steer away a little bit from the battles and stuff this time and do a little bit different kind of topics. So yeah, I think it was a nice idea.
A little more of the mystical side?
Exactly. Yeah. Of all the still the Norse mythology, and also there's some Slavic stories there, all kinds of legends and sagas, and what not, exciting things.
Yeah, awesome. That's kind of what the band focuses on generally, right? Is Viking lore from Finland and the whole region.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's the Norse mythology that was like in the center of the band since it started it. So it's always been, it's not like they didn't do these topics before, but there's so much to find out and write about. So it's not going to stop.
Yeah, it seems like Alex is probably a real history buff then.
Yeah, I mean, he's very heavily involved in this re-enactment scene, the whole Viking scene. And he's also obviously loves the history of these topics and reads a lot and researches also, of course, for the albums, even though he already knows a lot. But it's always nice to learn also through the band all these new things and, discover all these crazy stories and what the people believed. And yeah.
So it's kind of like you learn something every album?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, wasn't Harald Hardrada, wasn't he involved in a battle in England as well?
Yes. It was basically the end of the Viking era, as they say, where it all kind of then ended. So he was a very significant person in the Viking scene back then.
So I understand that you did some writing on this album. Usually Alex does most of the writing, but you got to do some writing too?
Well, I mean, it was always Tosso. Tosso was very, very much involved in the writing.
Okay.
Yeah, and also Alex, I mean, he is the producer, so he's also involved in every kind of way, on every step, of course, also in the writing process. And this time we had really like a big cooperation. Also Jonah Weingarten, he was doing the orchestrations, which was, really magnificent compositions. And we obviously wanted to let them shine as well. And it was a lot of arranging and just composing and making these compositions into songs. And then on the other hand, I also wrote one song in Eternity to the album, and we also of course arranged that with all the drums and everything on top of it, and I was involved in all of the songs as well, so it was very, very nice process, and a little bit different this time, of course, because we didn't have Tosso this time.
Well, a lot of bands just sample everything or use keyboards, but you guys actually have strings on the band. And isn't there some other like ancient instruments that were used?
Yeah, I mean, we have well, all the albums that I've been on, there have been this nyckelharpa, which is a very interesting, very distinctive instrument. You can always hear the sound. It's very, very, yeah.
What is it? What is it?
It's a crazy instrument. It's played with a bow, and it has like million how you call them, these a piano has tastatures or yeah, so it's a very complex instrument, and it sounds I don't know, a little bit like a violin, a little bit like yeah. I don't know how to describe it, but I was really fascinated when Thomas Roth was showing me the instrument. And then, of course, we had a violin player there to do all the kind of solo bits for the violin. It's always nice with the violins to have a little bit of a. And nowadays, also all the softwares for making these orchestrations and stuff. They're very, very good nowadays. Also, so they don't sound too bad anymore. So you can when it's blended into the mix and stuff like that, it's really sounds fantastic.
So the orchestration, other than the violin and the instrument you were talking about, are produced electronically then?
Yeah, basically that's what Jonah was doing. So he's based also in US, and he's done a lot of this kind of film score type of. I mean, I'm sure you've heard his work before. He also was doing for the Viking documentary. He was also doing for that one some music. So that's how we actually got to know him a bit better.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned that the band has a connection with Viking reenactment groups. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, that would be a question to ask Alex because he's the one really involved. He goes to the trainings and they have all these meetings, very famous battles in Volin and all kinds of. I was also participating now in HIC for one day. We were filming there a little bit, and of course, I saw some of these gatherings, and it's really fascinating. If you haven't seen, then watch the Viking Spirit documentary. It basically goes through all of this world there. You can see how all the weaponry and craftsmanships, all the battles and everything. It's really interesting.
Over here in the United States, there's groups, they're called Anachronism for Medieval Society or something like that. Sounds like it's pretty similar to that. People make their own armor and make their own swords and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, when we've been playing, for example, in the US, we also had these Vikings joining us on stage. So
awesome.
Yeah, those groups are found all over the world, even in Japan and everywhere. I'm sure there's nuances. I'm not sure, what the rules per se are, but it has to be authentic. I know that, it's not this kind of fantasy thing. It has to be very authentic, and all the weapons and everything, clothing and stuff like that. So I'm sure there's differences between all these groups.
Yeah, I knew somebody that did that up in Seattle, and she went as far as any of her clothing. She had sheep. She spun the wool. She wove into cloth.
Wow!
I mean,
yeah,
she wouldn't. It was like 100% how it was, and I don't know how deep they get into it in that, but
yeah, that's pretty authentic already.
So, Leaves Eyes has some awesome videos, and you're almost like leading into my next question every time, which is really great. So, can you talk a little bit about the videos, and was that a lot of fun to work on those?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a privilege to be able to make so many videos. And again, Alex has been the mastermind. He's filming, he's editing, he's doing everything. It's just, he makes these film-like videos that look absolutely incredible. And of course, with the songs, they have such visual topics, so it's very easy to come up with, what you want to do for the video, and then you have to just find out what's possible. But obviously, already we had some striking sceneries. We went to Iceland to film, and there was some underwater footage also, and all kinds of stuff. It was really, I mean, obviously a lot of work, but
Yeah.
very, very exciting to make all these videos, and still more to come.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. Is there an upcoming tour to support the new album?
Yes, we are going on tour on the 14th of March for about a month. So, yeah, we're going to be touring in Europe. Yeah.
Any chance of coming to the United States?
Yeah, we get to get asked this a lot, and you know, it's a shame because the pandemic kind of ruined the plans that were made for the last Viking. We didn't really get to tour with that album at all. So this is kind of those two albums merged together now,
Hmm.
and it's going to be nice to play them live. And there were plans to come there, but now I really hope we will be able to make other plans, new plans, and really actually make it happen. It's just everything is so expensive at the moment. Like the world has gone crazy with the costs of
Yeah,
touring.
I hear that. I hear that. Summer festivals coming up?
Yeah, let's see. I hope so. I think it's still, you know, we have to wait. The album will be out and stuff like that. But yeah, I think there are some coming up.
Do you play at Wacken this year?
No, well, we played last year, so I assume that probably we won't play this year then.
Okay. Um, I didn't have a lot of questions, but was there anything else that we missed that you wanted to talk about, or any shout outs you want to give to people or anybody?
Well, I mean, obviously, I just hope people will enjoy the album, and you know, maybe we even some people are still discovering us as a new band now. So it's really interesting to see the great reactions to the videos and songs, and you know, it's a bit of a new sound for the band. And I'm also, I would say, vocally, probably my best album I've made. I'm very proud of it and very happy with the results. So I hope people will enjoy it and hope to see you all on tour soon.
So, okay, so what do you feel is different about your performance on this album than in previous albums?
Well, I mean, I've gone through quite a journey with my voice in recent years. I, let's say, hit kind of crisis at one point, and then by lucky strike, I met another singer when I moved to Germany, and he really helped me lift me up and gave me a new perspective, which then made me able to work on my voice again. And I found really that you know, at the moment, I feel like I know my voice much better, and I was able to use it very differently on this album. It was much more versatile, and I was able to give the songs what they needed. And again, together with Alex, we were really pushing the boundaries and finding different ways. And I was, yeah, I'm really happy with the result.
So you felt like you had some new strengths?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, uh, it's difficult to describe the film because it's been over years now, and I've done a lot of work. So when I was entering the recording phase, I already knew that I was much more confident what I could do. I know, you know, everyone has their limitations, everyone has their strengths, but for the moment, I felt like, okay, I know what I can do, and I'm excited to, you know, put it on this album. So it feels really good.
Yeah, it sounds like it opened up a few things for you that were a little bit different and fun.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's always like whatever you do in life, when you feel like you're kind of in control, then you're able to push out of the boundaries. But if you feel like you're out of control, then you kind of survive only. And that's not a nice feeling.
I hear you. So, what formats is the album coming out on?
Oh my gosh. I I even made a video about this. There's many vinyls, obviously. There's a digipack, and of course the earbook. That's going to be fantastic.
Oh,
Really
what's
nice.
talk about that a little bit. What's that?
Yeah, it basically has a lot of pictures behind the scenes, all kinds of pictures from the video shoots and all, about everything. And it has, I believe, also the instrumental and orchestration versions of the album. So it's really a big thing with a lot of, it's really nice to look at as well. So yeah, if you have the chance, you should definitely get that one. Yeah.
Awesome. So where's our best place to pick that up?
There is a online shop, Leaves Ice Shop. I'm sure you can find it on our website.
Okay.
And then, of course, through our record label, AFM, everything can be found there as well.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you being my guest today, Elina. And the new album, Leaves Eyes, Myths of Fate, comes out March 22nd. I can't wait to get my hands on it. It's really awesome. So I think everybody needs to check it out. And just thank you again. It was really great talking to you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for the support.
Oh, you betcha. Anytime. Have a great day. If you like the content we bring you about the heavy metal world, please like, subscribe, and comment to help us grow the channel.